So for residents of a small town in Illinois, it could well be the shock of their lives. This morning, they're trying to get a handle on the revelation that a longtime psychology professor at downstate Millikan University shot and killed his parents and sister nearly 50 years ago. Some of the town of Decatur are calling for James St. James to resign. More now from Megan Briley of our affiliate WCIA.
How many of us really know our professors?
Tasha Duzan has realized just how much she didn't know about hers. James St. James was her first professor at Millikan and says she learned a lot from him.
But then I had this, mental image of this man that I've learned from and that hundreds and hundreds of kids have learned from.
But now she has a different mental image that is hard to shake. Bloody photographs of a crime scene where St. James shot his dad in the chest and mother and sister in the face.
It hurt my heart because I was torn.
A reporter for the Texas newspaper, the Georgetown Advocate, had been trying to figure out where St. James was for nearly 50 years after this horrific crime. When they found the once deemed insane man was a professor here, they broke the story.
I cried because I'm a student, but I'm also a mom, and I can't even imagine. My son's 14 and he was 15, and I just can't imagine anybody going through that.
Even now knowing his bloody past, Duzan and dozens of her classmates agree they'd still recommend St. James classes to anyone.
He has done exactly what our court system set up for him to do, and he did it. And he's went above and beyond to, use that experience to teach us as students and to, improve other people's lives.
So we have received a statement from Millikan University. It reads in part, Millikan University has only recently been made aware of Dr. St. James' past. Given the traumatic experiences of his childhood, Dr. St. James' efforts to rebuild his life and obtain a successful professional career have been remarkable. The university expects Dr. St. James to teach at Millikan this fall. So that answers one big question there. The university says he is coming back. Joining me now with their legal take on this story, criminal defense attorney Jeffrey Gold and attorney Brian Kabatek. Jeff, I want to start with you. Anything that bothers you about this case from a legal perspective?
Well, no, not from a legal perspective. I mean, the fellow was a judge not guilty by reason of insanity, and what you do in those cases is you put him away and see whether or not you can help him, cure him, so to speak, when doctors determine that, usually with the approval of a court. Then the defendant is released, and he has been released and apparently made a life for himself. I mean, we don't know what really happened. Now, on the other hand of it, should somebody be able to change their name after something like not guilty by reason of insanity so that they can go off and perhaps teach with children and not be, properly researched? So I mean, that worries me a little bit. But legally, no. He's done exactly what he's supposed to do, rehabilitate himself.
Right there's no proof that this professor lied at all when he got the job at the university. Normally, when we all apply for jobs, sometimes they ask us questions on forms that say, have you ever been convicted of a crime? I guess he hasn't been convicted. Jeff, should he have told the university about his past at the time he was hired?
Well, I mean, that's a really good question because, I see these types of questions being asked by clients all the time, and I ask them to read me the exact question they're being asked because they're all phrased differently. Some say arrested, some say convicted, some say even if you were judged not guilty. I mean, does a university have a right to inquire as to the facts? For example, let's say you were going to be a police officer instead of a teacher. Wouldn't they want to know these kinds of things regardless of whether you're convicted? The only reason not to hire somebody may not just be because you were convicted of something, but some other character issues. So they can consider it. And I don't know what they asked him. If they asked him, have you ever been arrested? He may have lied on an application because he had a different name and thought he could get away with it. So there is some concern about that, although I agree overall the guy did probably the right thing, which was rehabilitate himself.
Really interesting. This could go on for so long. All right. Thank you, Jeff.